crashing of these artificial waves can only mean one thing. We are at SeaWorld. We're back to SeaWorld. Also, the lighthouse in front of us says SeaWorld, so it must be true. Hello everyone, welcome, and welcome back. As you can see, we are here at SeaWorld Orlando, Florida, and I am super excited about this video today. It's good to be back. It's good to be firing up the camera again and having a good old-fashioned vlog day out with Tampa J, my fiance.
It's great, babe.
If you've been following the social medias, if you saw my last video, then you know that we've had a very difficult week and a half. Us and my family and whatnot. My mom was in the hospital, and that took up rightfully so all of my time, my mental, physical, emotional energy, and thankfully she is out of the hospital. She was released on Thursday, so thank goodness for that. They're now recovering at home and doing well, so I couldn't be happier. That was obviously a very stressful time for my family and I. So anyway, I really appreciate you all so much for all of the kind words and support that you left on my last video and on the post updating you all, and all of that. I really appreciate it, and thank you for, you know, the prayers and the positive vibes and all of that good stuff too.
Thank you guys.
It really helped my mom out a lot. She was floored that so many people were thinking of her, and it really helped brighten her day and her time in the hospital. So thank you all so much for that. I wanted to throw all of that out here up front. All of that aside, we're here at SeaWorld. We're here at SeaWorld. And we kind of thought this would be a really great way to, I don't know, spend our Saturday. We
haven't been to SeaWorld together during the day, ever.
Sure haven't. No, we sure have not. The last time we were at SeaWorld was for Howl-O-Scream. It was during the nighttime. There's a bunch of spooky creatures walking around. And now it's during the daytime. And I'm very excited to see all of the changes that SeaWorld has to offer. I actually grew up with this park. I grew up with Disney mostly, but SeaWorld is probably the second park that my family and I frequented the most. I even brought some photos with me as well. That's kind of what this video is going to be about, is my memories of SeaWorld and how things have changed and all of that good stuff, as well as just enjoying the day.
It'll be fun. I'm excited to see those photos and see where they were taken.
Yep, see where they were taken here at SeaWorld. Yep, exactly. So anyway, enough chatting. Without further ado, let's get going. Let's go. And we have made it inside of SeaWorld Orlando, checking out the sign here where you can do a nice little photo opportunity. We've been looking at this photo for a while and this whole area for a while to see if this is actually where we stood when we took this photo right in front of the SeaWorld sign there. There's Shamu in the background. That's myself, my brother, and my mom there. I'm not sure if it was right here inside of this area or not, but I thought I'd show it anyway because it's obviously the main sign to SeaWorld somewhere here in the park. So we just walked through this little area over here with a bunch of gift shops and restaurants, coffee, ice cream, all that good stuff, and we're coming right up next to the Dolphin nursery area here, which I'm pretty sure this has always been here. I seem to recall a kind of smaller little enclosure area here where you could see some dolphins. And it looks like there's Splish splashing over there, having a great old dolphin time with those little buoys. How adorable is that? Oh, look at them. Look at them. Oh, they're having a great time. When I was a kid, my mom and my brother and I, and also my grandma and my great-grandmother would come to SeaWorld all the time. I'm gonna assume that we had an annual pass or something along those lines. My mom could definitely correct me there, but we were here quite often. And so fortunately I have more pictures of SeaWorld for some reason than I do of basically anywhere else, including Disney. I don't know why, but here we are. And then also when I was in high school, I had an annual pass here as well for a year. And so I went here a decent amount during my high school years as well. And then also, there was a moment there, a very hot, brief moment there, that I worked at SeaWorld. And I'll get more into that when we actually get to that attraction. But yeah, so I have a lot of history here, weirdly enough, with SeaWorld, and I'm very excited and eager to share that with you today. Can't talk about the old without talking about the new as well. Here's the brand new roller coaster that will be coming to SeaWorld eventually. And yeah, there it is. You know, it's very interesting. I mean, I know why. We all know why, but obviously SeaWorld has really pivoted towards the rides, the roller coasters, the thrill rides. They really have been making a name for themselves as being a roller coaster destination, which is very weird for me, Tampa J, because when I went here as a kid, there was nothing here. There was nothing here. It was animals, and that was basically it.
Who else knew?
Exactly. SeaWorld's brand newest coaster that is actually open. It's been open for just about a year now. Icebreaker. Tampa J is going to ride for the very first time. You sure are. You got your GoPros, so if you want to see the POV version of Icebreaker by Tampa J, which you know is going to be awesome, make sure you go check it out. Okay, see you in 35 minutes. I'm trying to hopefully get Jay's attention to let him know that it's now 70 minutes and not the 35 that we signed up for initially, but having a hard time getting his attention over here, just kind of awkwardly staring at him. Well, I failed at getting his attention, which, by the way, I took his phone and his camera and all of that stuff because you can't have loose articles on the ride, so that's why I'm not texting him. But anyway, I guess I'll take this opportunity to go ahead and talk about Wild Arctic ad nauseum. So it seems to me that Wild Arctic is no longer a ride anymore, but now it's just simply all of the animals that they had inside of there, specifically the beluga whales, the seals, and the walrus, which is kind of a shame. The Wild Arctic used to be a motion simulator ride inside of this building in here. And now this was like the OG thrill ride of SeaWorld. Back when SeaWorld just had the animals, just had the shows, and all of that good stuff, Wild Arctic was one of the only rides, like the first ride here, that was actually a thrill ride. In fact, inside of this area in here used to be an example of the motion simulator ride that you would do. You could walk inside of those doors and then see an example of what the motion simulator looked like and all of that good stuff. I definitely remember that here in this area in the gift shop. In fact, these doors right here are definitely exit doors for the attraction as well. Again, think like Star Tours over at the studios sort of thing. Oh my gosh, I'm totally geeking out because it's like exactly the same in here. Yay! Wow, same like dome over the top of the exhibit, and I'm assuming that's where the beluga whales still are too. And they even still have this big old ice wall here too, made of actual ice. Ooh, that's quite cold. Indeed, we have beluga whales. And they're talking to each other. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. And the sign didn't say anything about polar bears, but I guess we'll see if the polar bears are inside of here too. Definitely remember those. Those were some of my favorites here at SeaWorld. Also, I loved this. I loved the exit of this ride. It was probably one of my family's like most favorite places inside of SeaWorld at the time. Wild Arctic, the ride, which was a lot of fun, and then the exit of it with all the animals. All the polar bears were inside of this exhibit here. Oh, there's a seal. That's what's in here. Seals. Cool. Looks like there's some walrus in here as well. This one's just chilling here. Oh, and here's the snoot of one down in here. There was another one over here. Wow. When I was a kid, there was only one walrus here, and it was huge, and it scared the bejeebers out of me. We always had a joke, because I swear, every time we came out of the Wild Arctic, and we went to see the walrus, not up here, but down below, there's a down below viewing area, the walrus would always come right up next to the window where I was, and it scared the crap out of me. Also, shout out to the theming in here. Pretty cool. Wild Arctic. Or the Thing, depending on what you like, I guess. Wow. This is exactly the same for anybody who is curious out there. This has not changed since the 90s. That's amazing. Good job, SeaWorld. I love that this is, I was not expecting this to be the same. I'm so happy. And here's the seal we saw earlier too. Swimming upside down, it looks like. There he goes. Very noisy down here. Lots of kiddos. No polar bears though. It's cool. This area is the same too. It was kind of like a kiddo like run around area where you could play. Looks like no kiddos to speak of in this moment. They are literally everywhere else. My favorite things too was all of these little monitors that they have here. Also, if it was quieter, you could hear like the creaking of the ship because we're supposed to be inside of like a ship right now. As you can see, you can still hear it. Same, hasn't changed. Hasn't changed since the 90s, y'all. That is a rarity. A rarity for theme parks nowadays. Heading out towards the exit here, I wanted to point this out because it says all southbound flights. It has a person on foot, has the helicopter, and then the arrow sign here. And I wanted to say that you didn't have to ride the ride if you didn't want to. If you wanted to just watch the film, because it was a film, like the whole premise of the Wild Arctic was you got on a helicopter and you flew around the Arctic and, you know, stuff happened. Oh, a caribou, and oh, a narwhal, and like you saw like a bunch of different kinds of animals in the Arctic. So it was kind of like you were on a helicopter that also magically went underneath the ocean as well. You know, one of those things. But anyway, the reason that there's a hiker on there as well is because you didn't have to ride the ride. You could also just watch the film if you just wanted to watch the film of it all, which sometimes I did. Sometimes I did. And also my stepdad and my grandma, and you know, I had people in my family that didn't want to ride the ride as well, so it's for all of them. Okay, back into the gift shop. Yeah, Wild Arctic, I guess, is no longer a thing. I'd be fascinated to know if those motion simulators were still in there. We did get to walk through the queue area during Howl-O-Scream, which was really awesome. So, I don't know, that's probably the closest we'll ever get to it. Now it's just basically a glorified awning, basically. Man, that's sad. It's actually pretty amazing to me to learn not too long ago that a lot of people actually really hated this ride. Like, it's kind of infamous for like how quote-unquote bad it was, which, I don't know, that wasn't really my experience. For me, ever since Wild Arctic opened and we had the opportunity to try it, which may or may not have been my very first motion simulator ride, I'm not sure. It's either this or Star Tours. But once we learned that it wasn't like crazy or anything like that, it was basically just a bumpy motion simulator ride. We did this ride every single time we came to SeaWorld, my family and I. It was one of our absolute favorites here, so I'm bummed that it's not here anymore. I'm bummed that evidently it had a bad rap, but you know, that's fine. I have my memories and I really, really liked it. And over here at the old Shamu Stadium, we have now the Orca encounters, which, I mean, if you know anything about anything, then you know that SeaWorld has had quite a past. It's a very, very problematic park. Let's just say that. I even know a lot of people out there are probably not even very happy that we're here at SeaWorld right now and, you know, showcasing it and all of that good stuff. But I really wanted this video to be about my memories here, my experiences here at SeaWorld. As I keep saying, I grew up in this park. I've been here a lot. And I don't want to plead ignorance or anything like that, but you know, I was a kid. It was the 90s. We weren't talking about this stuff back in the day. And it definitely makes me sad that it has the past that it's had, that it's done the things that it's done. you know, and continues to do some very questionable things here at SeaWorld, but I still wanted to share my memories because I think that all of my good experiences and all of that stuff is still valid. I don't think that it's right to invalidate those experiences and to not share them with you all, because I want to. That's what I do on this channel, is I share my experiences with you all. So I do hope that you all understand. Hold on, wait. There he is, there he is. Tampa J is right there. Hi, Tampa J, he made it. He made it on the ride. All right. How was it, Tampa J?
It was good.
Okay.
So a series of unfortunate events allowed me to probably wait double.
They did, and you'll have to hear that on Tampa J's
So I told the whole story. I'll give you a little
video.
It involves an NFL player, the quick queue line, and myself and my hat.
Wow.
One of those is not true.
Okay,
You'll
all
have
right,
to see.
that's fair. Okay, now that we have been reunited, we're gonna head into Sesame Street land. I'm very, very excited about this. As I was just saying to Tampa J, been to the Sesame Street area in Busch Gardens, been to the Sesame Street land, full entire theme park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but I've never been to Sesame Street land here in SeaWorld Orlando, so I'm really excited to check this out. Oh yeah, this is very, very, very similar to the one in Philadelphia, where you kind of go around the streets, you press all the buttons, and some fun interactive stuff happens. Absolutely adorable. It looks like over at 123B is Bert and Ernie's place.
Hello, Noelle. Where you sitting?
So cute.
I don't see any.
Almost
Oh, I see a
choo-choo
caterpillar right there.
train.
Right at the edge.
It's fun for everyone. I like to see new things in nature. There's always more to explore. Let's see what else we can find.
Oh, so cute.
Terrified.
A lot of details over here in Sesame Street land. I'm pretty sure we could do a whole video just in this section alone. I wanted to point out the community vet center area. Look at all of the pets that they have on here. Oh, so cute. I love that they have real animals mixed along with the Muppet / Sesame Street animals. Absolutely adorable. And we have the world's most adorable carousel over here as well. They definitely had this over in Philadelphia. So stinking cute. I think the cutest carousel in the entire world. Over here at Infinity Falls, checking this out for the first time in the daytime.
Infinity Falls. Here
There
we
it
go.
goes. Oh boy. Woo. Feel that spray, yeah. We're now over by the shark encounter area where Mako is, and this whole area here used to be the entrance to the shark encounter area. Now it's just the underwater grill and bar, which, by the way, weirdly enough, I have eaten at before. But I wanted to talk about this whole area in here because there are some sharks. Oh, and their cousins, the stingrays, down here too. And I have a story, Tampa J, about this area. It just unlocked in my memory as I was walking up here. Like I said earlier, I went here a lot with my grandma and my great-grandmother. And my grandmother, or great-grandmother I should say, usually came in a wheelchair.
Okay.
And I remember her wheelchair got stuck.
Oh no.
In this exhibit here.
Like in
you
this
can
area?
See, yeah, you can see the fence around here. Like somehow her wheelchair, like I think maybe the feet pedals or something,
Maybe in the mesh.
got stuck
It's like chicken wire.
inside of the fence here.
Oh, wow.
And we were freaking out
Yeah.
because she was stuck in the
Next to
shark
the shark.
exhibit. Yeah, so she was nervous about it. We were nervous about it. We had to get a cast member to come
bless
out
your hearts.
and unstick her from the shark encounter area. Wow, that's a big
Whoa,
stingray.
that's a big stingray. That's
Holy
a
moly.
leopard ray.
Here's that huge leopard ray.
Wow, there it is.
Wow. And just look how huge the tail is too. That is ginormous.
Baby, raise up.
Yeah, why isn't he at the Tropicana field, huh?
Yeah, he should be. They could put him at the Tropicana.
Yeah, Shark Encounter was another exhibit that we went to all the time. I was a little scared of it as a kid, but my brother loved the sharks as pretty much every little child does, basically. So anyway, we're gonna go inside the shark encounter, and I'm very excited about this.
Long before dinosaurs, long before birds, long before humans, there were sharks.
This over here shows the size comparisons of all of the different kinds. Well, not all of the different kinds of sharks. We're obviously missing a few, but you can see just how big and how small some of them are. There's Tampa J for comparison. Oh no! Almost stepped on it. You got a whale shark, you got a great white shark, you got a leopard shark, a mako shark, and a tiger shark.
A what?
So this is pretty interesting. The sign says sharks under attack. 100 million sharks are killed every year by people, whereas in comparison, 5 human fatality is the average every year from sharks, according to this sign. So that really puts into perspective the whole, you know, beaches here in Florida being very dangerous because of sharks, etc., etc. Just another reminder that usually people do not die from those things. They usually get bites, which is still bad. It's still not great, but in general, they're usually not dying from shark attacks, whereas we are the ones that are really the ones attacking the sharks. We are in the shark tunnel, getting onto the people mover now as we're being moved along, watching the sharks go by with everybody else.
Oh, there's some big ones right there.
Sharks everywhere, they're everywhere. I was very disappointed because the Shark Encounters exhibit didn't play the Shark Encounter music, which we heard at Howl-O-Scream. So I know they have the music. I did point it out. So if you want to hear that, it's in that video. But the more I think about it, I think it's a very conscious decision because they're obviously trying to educate people about sharks. And sharks already have that stigma of being very dangerous and eerie and creepy and all of that. So I think they didn't want to put that eerie, weird music in there. I think they wanted it to be more educational and try to stay away from that stigma. That's what I'm thinking.
So they brought it back for Howl-O-Scream, which is
scary and creepy. Yeah, so I think that's what they did. So this section of the park is one of the older sections of the park over here. This is definitely more my wheelhouse. Journey into Atlantis, an absolute legend of a ride. Kraken way back over there. And then the ride that I worked at for a hot minute just around the corner here. There it goes, Journey to Atlantis. I've been on this ride many times in the past. It's one of the OG thrill rides here at SeaWorld. I can't remember if this came first before Wild Arctic or if Wild Arctic was, whoa! I just got really wet. That blaster thing got me. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, anyway, yeah, I can't remember if this ride came first or if Wild Arctic came first. Someone let me know in the comments below. I could easily Google this, but I'm choosing not to. In any case, been on this ride many times before. Super fun. Starts off as a water ride, and then when you go up the lift hill there, well, I don't want to spoil it for y'all, but it's just so cool. It's just so darn cool. Of course, we gotta say hello to Kraken as well. The very first roller coaster here at SeaWorld, Kraken.
It's a classic.
It sure is. I have actually, it's been here so long that I've actually been on this ride before. It was a lot of fun.
That's amazing.
It was probably my first major roller coaster that I've ever been on.
You know, mine was the Racer. In Kings Island, Cincinnati.
Nice.
That was the first roller coaster. But the first like steel roller coaster was Busch Gardens.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Okay, my anxiety and PTSD just went up to 11. Here we are going into Antarctica, Empire of the Penguin. This, my friends, is where I quote-unquote worked, or I should say I got trained, and I think I worked one day, and then I peaced out after that. Okay, so this is how out of the theme park loop I am, folks. This is no longer a ride. It's now just the penguin exhibit. This is where you go to see the penguins, and the times, apparently, it's a 50-minute wait to go, just to go see the penguins. That actually legitimately blows my mind. I can't believe it. I don't even remember what the ride's name was. I'm not even gonna lie.
I never rode it, so I couldn't tell you.
I guess it was a short-lived ride. Who knows? I don't know when it ended. Evidently, I have a lot of Google searches to do when I get home tonight.
Hopefully there's some ride footage out there.
But it was a trackless ride.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it may have even been like one of the first trackless rides out there. You got in like a circle thing, and you spun around like a little penguin area. And then at the end of the ride, you had the penguin encounter, which was actually in the temperatures, you know, the climate that penguins actually, you know, live in.
And I think that's what's
left. The jackets
Yeah.
and all of that stuff that we legitimately had to wear because it was actually very, very cold in there. But yeah, it appears that that's all that's left is just the
exhibit.
Just the penguins, which is kind of bananas for another reason, because when I went here as a kid with my grandma and my great-grandma, the penguins were their favorite part of SeaWorld. We loved going through the penguin exhibit. It was not like what it is now. It was where you would go inside of a building, you'd go on like a long people mover thing, and then you just saw all the penguins inside of the exhibit, and they played like fun music, and it was just really, it was really cool. It was my favorite part too, one of my favorite parts as well. So I'm sad that all around is not a thing anymore, and this is what we're left with, which I'm sure is awesome, but I'm not gonna wait 50 minutes to go check it out.
Yeah, maybe we'll come out here definitely. We'll be coming back. We're past members, so.
Yeah, we'll be back and check it out.
I look forward to checking that out with you.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
R.I.P. ride that I worked at or got trained at and then pieced out the next day and didn't say anything to SeaWorld about. So
you were like, I see what's going on here, penguin.
Here's another photo for you all. It's not at SeaWorld, as you can see. It's actually in my old house in Kissimmee. There's my grandmother there. There's the forehead of my great-grandma, and then me and my brother on Christmas morning opening our gifts. Shout out to Street Sharks, by the way. My brother just got a street shark. But anyway, you can see here a stuffed penguin and a bag from SeaWorld. So I wanted to show this because I was such a huge fan of SeaWorld. We were all such a huge fan of SeaWorld that I even got a stuffed penguin that I had for the longest time as a Christmas present. No doubt probably from one of them if I had to guess, because they were huge fans of the penguins. Now over here in the Key West area, the Stingray Lagoon, which has always
one of the oldest parts of the park.
Been here. Oh, for sure. Look at the babies. They're baby stingrays. Oh, how cute. He's so baby. Just a little baby. Got a couple more photos here to show you all. I'm not exactly sure where this was taken inside of SeaWorld. It obviously says information in the background, and that sign there says dinner with Shamu, so apparently that was a thing at some point. But as you can see, my brother and I are standing next to someone inside of a terrifying Shamu costume here. My brother has a shark shirt on, which definitely makes sense. I got my pink Power Ranger shirt on as well, very 90s. And here's another photo. I'm not quite sure where exactly in SeaWorld this was taken. This is like a ramp area here, so it makes me think maybe it was outside of an attraction, or maybe it was near the beginning of the park. I'm not quite sure. But there's my brother and myself and my mom there again with someone, wow, the Cheetos! With someone inside of a creepy Shamu mascot costume as well. Can you imagine that, walking around the park doing meet and greets inside of that costume? It's kind of amazing, actually. By the way, that photo and then this photo that I showed at the beginning of the video, November 1991.
Whoa.
And then all the way tucked back here in the back of the park is the SeaWorld Rescue Center area, where they have the manatees, or they should have the manatees. And this part of the park is actually the most important to me. It's the biggest deal to me because We went here every single time with my mom. Manatees are her most favorite animal of them all, and this was her favorite part of the park, so we're gonna go check it out. Okay, so I got a couple of photos here to show you. These are the last ones that I have that I was able to find. You can see my brother and I here posing next to this manatee statue, and hey, check it out. It's still here. It's definitely missing that rock feature behind it, but we're kind of thinking that it's actually in the same place too, because you can see the railing in the background there.
There's a
and then
railing right there.
in the photo you
And a
can
tree
see
line.
there's a railing with people staring down below at something. So I think this is actually in the same spot too, potentially. I don't know. My mom can tell. My mom will probably remember.
You gotta
more
recreate
than
this.
likely. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Okay, I have taken over this channel. Cris is going to recreate this moment. November 1991, I believe.
Yeah, so not to climb up here.
Okay. So your hand was a little to the left, up, little to the right, little down, little to the left. About right there, yeah. Okay, hold on, let's see. All right, there she is right there. Here she is today. Look at that. That's beautiful. There you go, Cris the girl. The art of gold. SeaWorld. You just moved here, you were telling me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was 2 years old. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you just moved here.
Yeah, just moved here. I was 2 years old when we came to SeaWorld, so it was one of the first parks that we visited.
There you go. If you take a screenshot, it'll last longer. So beautiful.
And thanks to Tampa J, we were able to recreate the moment a little bit, missing
go.
my brother and a stuffed animal in my hand, but it's basically exactly the same. Very cool, very, very awesome moment for me. Thanks.
It went down.
Thanks, babe. Here's the other photo that I have. I'm pretty sure every time we went to SeaWorld, my mom had to snap a photo of my brother and I in front of the statue. By the way, you may notice I have a stuffed animal in this one. I have a stuffed animal in this one. I always brought a stuffed animal with me everywhere I went. In this one, a Simba stuffed animal. And this one, Dolly from Beethoven 2. 90s kids for sure. So this area definitely looks familiar. I remember walking underneath this awning here. I remember seeing kind of like, I think this is an overhead view of the manatees. And then over here, I think are the alligators, which was always problematic because as much as my mom loves manatees, she hates alligators. So it was always like a dodge to not see the alligators when we were trying to see the manatees. So let's see if we can find them up here. And look at that, there they are. Oh yeah, there's like a baby one too over there.
That's a big one.
Yeah, they are big. Oh, they're the manatees.
Such beautiful creatures.
Yeah, so gentle.
Yeah, they are very precious and gentle.
Yeah, we got some baby manatees over here. One's munching on some lettuce up at the top here, having a good old time. Oh, there's the snoot. Yeah, that one. That one's floating on its back. I'm gonna do a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll. There he goes. Having a good time. There he goes.
They have,
Ooh,
there's another
right
one.
here. Hello
and
there.
These are rescues. They have injuries on them. If you look closely, the poor things have been injured. But SeaWorld has rescued over 27 sea turtles. I know that because I read the sign. It's right back there.
Neat. Oh yeah, all of this is the same. All of this is the same since the 90s, Tampa J. And then in here there used to be a short little show in a circular theater, which I'm gonna guess is not a thing anymore, especially because all of this looks completely different. So, okay, I'm figuring it out now. So I think the theater was inside of this building here, and then you walked out here, because this is the same, the viewing area of it all. Cool. There he is.
Not turtling enough for the turtle club. Pistachio disguising.
Oh, he hit the bottom. Aww.
They're having a little conversation.
Maybe. Might be a mom and a baby.
Oh, that catfish just ruined it.
Yeah, sure.
Get out of there.
Get out of here.
He's taking a dive.
Yep.
He's going down to the floor.
Going down to something.
He's going fast. He's coming in hot.
There he goes. Aww.
Just resting on the bottom.
Yep.
Oh, here comes another one. Okay.
Aww. Those. Just having a great old manatee time. And we got a barrel full of manatees over in here.
It's a barrel full of manatee.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
All different sizes too.
Different sizes. Do you like
Yep.
this size?
That's a good size for a manatee, yeah.
I think that's one for you right there.
Okay, maybe so, maybe so. As I mentioned before, stuffed animals were quite a huge part of my life as a child, and well, let's be honest, as an adult too. I have quite a stuffed animal collection. Someday I gotta do that video showing you all my stuffed animal collection. I'm about to add to it. I'm gonna get a manatee. I think I'm gonna get one for my mom too. I can't remember if she has one or not, but I'm just gonna get her one just because. I had a penguin, I had a seal that also looked just like this, but it was tiny. I definitely had a dolphin. I'm pretty sure I had a manatee, and I definitely had an orca, a shamu as well. I had all the stuffies of SeaWorld. I did not have a shark with a little hoodie though. That's pretty cute. Also didn't have these exact ones, but I definitely had a SeaWorld Barbie as well. If I'm not mistaken, she was a dolphin trainer. Came with a little dolphin that you had a little trigger on it and it would go, you know, the sounds that dolphins make. Yeah, I totally had that. As the sun sets at SeaWorld, we are done here for today. That was a lot of fun. Wow, what a trip down memory lane. Every inch, every corner of this park, just full of memories for me. It was really, really good to relive that again. Okay. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really, really appreciate it. Make sure you check out Tampa Jay's video because he captured a lot of different things than I did today. His video is going to be out later in the week because, spoiler alert, we're doing something after this. And Jay's gonna film it, and that video is already gonna be out, so if you haven't seen that one, make sure you check that out as well.
Much behind.
Much behind, much ahead. Always something in the future, and always something in the past, which is definitely the theme of today's video, was reliving those memories. A lot of special memories here in this park with my family, especially with my mom, my grandma, my great-grandma, and whatnot, which I haven't really talked about too much on the channel yet, so kind of thought this would be like a perfect intro back into the world after everything that happened this past week and a half and whatnot. So again, I really appreciate you all being there for myself and for my family. We all appreciate it so much, and it really, really helped us through all of this. So
that was beautiful. I felt very honored to be a part of that today. Get to relive those memories with you today.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, it's not every day that we experience new things together.
Right.
Especially new theme parks. So it's pretty fun.
This was fun.
Yeah. So we will definitely be back. But again, thank you all so much for watching.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.
See ya.
See ya later.
Maybe it's SeaWorld.
See you at SeaWorld. Maybe.
Hey, it's a pod. I love it.
I'm also very sorry that this is at the very end of the video here, but I can't believe it. I had so many liquids today, and I didn't think to do my coffee shout out, so I'm gonna do it here. Thank you to Jose so much for the coffee, for supporting the channel as much as you do. Cheers. Really appreciate you. Thank you.
One day, flamingos will take over the world, and they will remember how kind and how I once sung their name every time I saw